Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Paleo report. And instead of taking a walk through the woods, I thought that today we would take a walk through the stars and a walk through time. Let's just look at some of these aspects that I'm always talking about these days and see that right now today, this is March 14th. As I'm speaking now, the moon is just conjoined with South Node, her own South Node. What else? Well, last week I talked about Venus and Mercury. Okay, well, they were in square to Saturn. You probably felt that over the weekend. You may still be feeling it now, but today we have got what? The sun at 23 degrees of Pisces, trine. See those blue lines? It's a beautiful trine to Jupiter over here at 23 degrees of Scorpio. Super duper coolo. All right, let's get this sucker moving. Here we go. So what's so cool about astrology? See that moon? Moon goes into Pisces, okay, on Thursday. As you can see up over here in the corner, you can watch the time and the date over there. And that moon, when she goes into Pisces, is going to do what? Well, first, she's going to conjoin together with Neptune. And she's going to come around and bam. Let's just move that back a little bit. Wow. Here's our new moon, right? 26 degrees, 26 degrees. Chiron over here at 28 degrees. So we have a new moon conjunct with Chiron. And not only that, but look up over here. Oh my goodness, it's Mars at 29 degrees, 56 minutes of Sagittarius. Let's go just a little bit farther. And here goes Mars into Capricorn. It's a 2-year cycle. So 2 years ago, Mars came into Capricorn. As soon as Mars enters Capricorn, you're going to start to feel this conjunction with Saturn. Okay, and even more so than that, of course, watch, keep going. Now we've got the moon goes into Aries and squares Mars on Saturday. You see that? Chiron and the sun are still conjunct. Let's go a little bit forward and see that the sun exactly conjuncts Chiron. Bam, there it is on Sunday. Sun-Chiron conjunction at 28 degrees. Still in trine to Jupiter. That's nice. And then also on Sunday, what? The moon comes around here and it hits this Mercury and Venus. And what's with Mercury and Venus and the moon? Oh, look at that red line going up there to square black moon Lilith. And of course, you know, in a loose conjunction, they're coming up to square Pluto, so you can get ready for that one. That's coming along. Moon comes around, conjoins with Uranus, right? On Monday, there it is. And then the grand finale, here it goes. Watch that sun going into Aries, the equinox. Next Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, we start a whole new solar year. It's called Astrology Day, when the sun goes into Aries. Yeah, it's called an ingress. And of course, that sun is going to come into a very exact square with Mars. You're going to start feeling it on Sunday, but, you know, it's really not until the next Paleo report, I think, right? I can talk about the sun square Mars. When's that? That's next Thursday. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. In the meantime, what did I miss? I think I missed here that, you know, well, you can see Mercury stations. Next week, Thursday, Mercury is going to station and go retrograde. But let's back up and not get ahead of ourselves, because what do we have before then? A Venus-Mercury exact conjunction. Yes, indeed, they are traveling together. Okay, this whole time, you know, they've been traveling together pretty well. There we are, boom. That's on Monday, exact at 16 degrees. Very nice, a very nice trine going over there to the North Node, Aries. over here to Leo. So these are some of the things I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the new moon conjunct Chiron. I'm going to talk about it being square to Mars, Mars going into Capricorn, and blah, 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 blah. Venus and Mercury squaring Lilith. So just so you have a little bit of a background of what I'm going to be talking about today. All right, everybody. Oh my goodness. I mean, probably like you, I have been so busy these last few days, right? I mean, even through the last weekend, that I don't have time to go down to the river. What's life coming to? And I don't see it lightening up either. You know, I mean, Mars going into Capricorn, all right? Mars in the old books of astrology is exalted in Capricorn, and it has to do with ambition. And then we've got Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. It's very strong in Capricorn, okay? And it is duty, responsibility, contracts, commitments, and throw in Black Moon, Lilith, and Pluto, and it's just like, is the work ever done? Whoa! And you can get distracted by all of this, you know, outside, you know, mental activity, business activity, commerce, this, that, and the other thing. And I mean, forget the inner process of being human and feeling and relationships. And I mean, and that's where the evolution of the soul actually occurs and happens. So we're really kind of, you know, doing the tightrope walk here, okay, you know, and it's like really something to stay in a balanced place. And particularly, let's talk about what's coming up. I mean, you know, you saw the new moon at the very end of Pisces, conjunct Chiron at the very end of Pisces. I mean, we're doing a whole thing on Chiron moving into Aries, okay, that's coming up, all right, and Uranus going into Taurus, and there's a lot of things. This is the end of the Piscean age. So this is like, you know, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, right? The 12th sign, the 12th ruler of the 12th house in the natural horoscope. End, finish, close, complete. And then it trines Jupiter over in Scorpio, the sign of death, and letting go. So this is the great let go. and the thing is, let go of what? You know, I mean, part of me wants to say, you know what? Let go of 2017. You know, I mean, if you've been listening to the Pele Report, almost all of 2017 was what? Chiron in square to Saturn, right? Saturn was going through late Sagittarius and went back and forth squaring Chiron in Pisces. I mean, Chiron, let's look at it. The wounded healer. It has to do with crisis. Spiritual crisis, mental crisis, emotional crisis, financial crisis, health crisis. I mean, crisis, crisis, crisis. But it's a healing crisis. So this is what every cloud has a silver lining. I mean, we have, you know, 2017 was really a time of processing, okay? A lot of what? The meaning of life. Chiron, you know, and Sagittarius, both, yeah, Saturn through Sagittarius has to do with our soul purpose. Our soul purpose, okay? Not our social purpose, our family purpose, our business purpose, our da-da-da-da-da. It's our soul purpose, which is our unconscious spiritual intention for coming into the body in the first frickin' place. It's deep. It's big.
And now Mars Mars is just going over there too. That was all conjunct the galactic center. So it's time to get deep. It's time to get real. It's time to get honest with ourselves, with each other, with the world, about our priorities, about what is important. And this is what crisis does. When there's a crisis, we have to reach for what is the most important first. If we can't have it all, we may as well go for, what is like crucial, essential, elemental. What have I got to have? That's what crisis does for us. It helps us to see our values, and we may not always be in touch, with our deepest values until we reach a crisis. A life and death kind of a thing. It's like, oh my God. Where am I putting my time, energy, attention, money, whatever? It's like, wow. Relationship crisis, with all this Jupiter and Scorpio. There's been a lot of relationship crisis stuff going on. So this new moon, I like to I'd like to be in a space of celebration. Celebrating. Life is phenomenal. Life is awesome. Life raises us up and throws us down, just like waves at sea. They lift us up, and then they can also crash you into rocks. These fire ants, doggone it, are going to help me come into a Pele report crisis. I think I'm sitting on a frickin'... Anyway. If it ain't one crisis, it's another. But the crisis of Chiron in Pisces. Pisces is spirit, unbounded freedom, dreams, infinity, open-hearted, innocent love, angelic realms of beauty, awe and wonder. It's very passive and allowing, and all is all one, and we're all one is all, and all is one. And so Chiron moving through there for the last 7 years. It went in there in like 2009 or 10. It's been a long time in Pisces. It's going to be even longer in Aries. It's the farthest away from the sun. Chiron has an elliptical orbit, and it goes farther away from the sun through Aries. It's going to spend like 8 years in Aries. Then it comes in close to the sun, and it spends like 2 years in Libra. So it's got this really crazy orbit. You can't just take a full Chiron cycle of 51 years and divide it evenly into 12, because that's not the case. You see what I'm saying? So we have a lot of time. I'm going to do a whole thing on healing the wound of the masculine. That's coming up with Chiron in Aries for the next 8 years. But this last one has been healing the wound of abandonment by God, Goddess, Source, Creator, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, whatever you want to, Galactic Center, whatever you want to call infinite cosmic intelligence, you name it, but it's feeling disconnected from that, So you can have depression, suicidal tendencies. I want to escape. I feel so separate. I just want to release. I want to go back to the womb, okay? Or I want to go forward into enlightenment, but I can't really stand this feeling alone, isolated, abandoned, and just not, like my heart's not open, or I'm not experiencing the unity and the oneness that I want, that I need, that is like critical. So this can be a time, of facing, looking at. I always say with people, Chiron is where you need to investigate and research. This is a beautiful time for investigating and researching what? Pisces is crown chakra, right? And the feet. It's like expand the spectrum of your consciousness. This is what the mantra has to do with today, Letting go of the I, like I, me, my, okay? And blowing out, right? It's like feel like yourself as a puppet on a string, with the string going down to the core of Gaia, our feminine Mother Earth, and the other end of the string going out to your own personal star. And we're just, we're just like these puppets going up and down on the string. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But we don't stop at our skin. Our skin is not our boundary. Yeah, we have our magnetic field, we have our aura, we have our astral body, we have our arc line in Kundalini Yoga. I mean, we go and we can expand that spectrum of not only visual light and color and sound, but also consciousness. So, when I talk about in the mantra today, surrendering the I, what I'm talking about is, okay, I'm talking about the ego. I'm talking about more of the little me. Okay, it's like I'm always a little wary, when I get around people that are saying, I this, I that, me this, me that, me the other, I did this, I did that, I want, I need, I won, I lost, I. It's like, dude, are you slightly caught up with yourself? Because Pisces is selflessness, egolessness, in la keshalakin, I am another you, yeah? So this new moon in Pisces is this great opportunity, okay, to just like let go, surrender. And you don't need to have, the ego wants logical explanations, justifications, rationalizations. I need da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, you know what? With these aspects happening, okay, and Mars moving into Capricorn and Sun moving into Aries, this is the time of doing and accomplishing a lot. Really doing a lot, initiating a lot, working a lot, making new contracts and new commitments and setting new goals for the future. But you can do that without being attached egoically to the outcome. You can do that in a pure philanthropic manner. That's why I always say, if you're working, you might want to look at that. Because if you're doing what you love, if you're singing, painting, dancing, creating, socializing, when you're doing what you love, it's not work. So it's just sharing, it's playing, it's enjoying the process. So we can get a lot done. We can bring in a new paradigm. We can change our lives and heal our relationships and heal our feelings of abandonment from source. We can do all of that, yeah, and in a way this is a beautiful time for doing that, just prior to what? The new start, Astrology Day, the equinox, the sun goes into Aries, we start a new solar cycle. Yeah, so this is like, release the past, let the water under the bridge go out to the ocean. Forgive. Start with yourself. Forgive yourself. Have compassion with yourself. And let it all go. And it's not knowing why, like the mantra says. It's feeling. It's loving. The mind seeks to know. The heart seeks to love. Experience the love in your daily life, in your actions, in your relationships, in your activities, and it's all gonna it's gonna fit in and it's gonna make more sense. In the long run, you look back over your life, and in the long run, when you made changes or let go of stuff out of love or for love, okay, it does make sense. What do they say? Hindsight is 20/20. So this is a year of big changes, and part of those big changes, is what I say, erasing the chalkboard so you can write new equations and draw new pictures. Get rid of the old equations, the conditioning from family, society, and religion. You know, clear the slate. Yeah, polish your mirror. All right, yeah, this is a great time to just like, let that go. There was actually an old beer commercial for Budweiser that I remember. Why ask why? Of course, they were selling beer, but you know, beer is actually Scorpio. Pisces is wine. No, actually, beer has more to do with Cancer. Scorpio is tequila, and Pisces is wine. Anyway, we don't need to get into the nitty-gritty details of astrology. Oh, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty details of astrology, myself and the whole Dream Team's offering a free webinar on Astrology Day to celebrate Astrology Day. And we're all going to be talking about Uranus going into Taurus, Chiron going into Aries, about how awesome astrology is, and you know, giving you opportunities, okay, to learn more astrology, because it's just freaking phenomenal. And the world needs more astrologers. So check it out. I'll put the link down in the notes, okay? Check the notes. But, you know, to wrap it up, as I can just go on about this stuff for frickin' ever, the mantra for today is, yeah, sometimes it's hard to not give up and keep going without knowing why. That's when I need to still my mind, open my heart, and surrender my I. Pisces is meditation, yeah? Pisces is, yeah, opening to the infinite blessings and grace, awe, and wonder that we are surrounded with, and really being in a place of gratitude. Gratitude for what we've got, this amazing, beautiful planet, and the beautiful people in our lives. Go out and hug everybody. Hug a tree. Yeah, I mean, just this is, it really can be a beautiful time. And as you open, you feel that connection, and that heals the feeling of abandonment. Because you know what? We're not abandoned. Nature is supporting us with every mouthful of food that we take, every ray of sunlight that shines on us, every sip of water that we take. I mean, yeah, we're not abandoned. You just gotta like chill out, slow down, feel into it, you know what I'm saying? One more time. Sometimes it's hard to not give up and keep going without knowing why. That's when I need to still my mind, open my heart, and surrender my I. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.